Well, welcome again to my shop. This morning, I got an interesting little project to do. Thought I'd take you along with me for the ride. I've been making this key as a wall display. I usually cut it on a 14-inch piece of paper, and it makes a nice wall display when you paint it black. And it's for people who collect keys or just have the idea that they want to hang one of these on their wall. And I made quite a few of these. They sell very well in my Etsy store. And I thought I would take you on a cut this morning that I'm going to make of a key, but it's not going to be this one. I had a customer contact me, and she wanted to know if I could redesign the top of the key so that it looked like a clover, but a rather eerie clover, based on a tattoo that she had. And she showed me the tattoo on her arm. Must have been about 4 inches long, and it had a similar type of end on it like this, but it was really weird looking. Supposedly a clover that you're looking through toward the sky. And the whole key, I guess, was based on a song of some sort, which I'm not at all familiar with. But in any event, she was wondering if I could make that as a display key, a bigger key, to hang on a wall or something along those lines, similar to the key that she has in her tattoo. So I blew the tattoo up. I cleaned it up a bit and blew it up in size so that it looks like this. And again, this is on a sheet of legal size paper, and it should cut out to be pretty nice. But here's the clover design that she wanted, if you can see a clover in there. And the rest of the key is rather ominous looking, has a lightning bolt coming out of it and 2 teeth on either side. Altogether a rather gothic type key, I would say. In any event, what I'm going to do is cut this out, and we'll cut it out of a piece of pine, which is what I generally use, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick, maybe an inch, and we'll shape it nicely, and we'll paint it black, and we'll see how it looks when we're done. So let's get started. Okay, I cut this piece of pine down. It's roughly 14 inches by 5 1/4 inches across, and about 3/4 of an inch thick. Okay, and I've also cut out the pattern to the size I'm going to need, and it's going to go down on top there like that. But before I do that, as usual, I always put some masking tape down, in this case painter's tape, as you've probably seen me use before if you've been following the channel. The pattern for this, by the way, will be available up on my Etsy store if you're interested. You can click the link there, and in the packet I'll put the key that she sent me, and I've redesigned a bit, but I'll also put my original key, both of which will be set up for printing on 14-inch paper. Now 14-inch paper is not a big deal. If you have a regular printer, it's 14.5 inches long, but it's 8.5 inches wide, which means you can slide it into any printer, and it'll hang out at the edge, of course, on the end. It's 14 inches long. But once you start printing it, it'll pull it right through and it'll print out beautifully, which is the way I've done all of my prints here as well. So you'll get not only this pattern, but also the other pattern that I have too for the key in a couple of different sizes, so you can decide how you want to actually print it. And this should work pretty good. So let me That link is down below, by the way. If you enjoy this video, by the way, please click on the like button. It will help me in my channel, and also keep you in contact with me as to other things that might possibly be coming up if you want to subscribe. Okay, so we take our key now, and as usual, I use my glue stick to sticky up the back of this thing. You want to get it on there nice and gooey. Make it as thick as you want. Any glue stick will do, of course. Of course, you can use other methods to put it on too as well. I happen to prefer the glue stick, but if you want to use a spray, that's fine too. Okay, and we'll put our pattern down so that the overlap is from bottom to up. That way when we peel it off, it'll take all 3 pieces instead of just 1 piece and have to go back and redo it. Okay, well, let's put this down here now. Easy enough. The tape, of course, gives you a surface to put your glued pattern down, and it also allows the tape to put a lubricant on the blade as you're cutting, and makes the cutting a little easier, and certain woods which tend to burn easily do not burn as easily when you have that tape on there, or box tape, or whatever kind of tape you want to use. Okay, what we need to do now is drill out an entry hole here, an entry hole here, and then we can start cutting our pattern out. It's a fairly easy cut if you're new at scroll sawing. Just take your time and work your way around. You really don't have to worry about whether you get off the track or not, because this thing is a rather irregular shape anyways. And even along here, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna, when I get this thing finalized, I'm gonna sort of stress this a little bit anyways to make it look like it's a worn out key. So if you're off a little bit on your cut, who's gonna know the difference? Okay, I'm gonna go drill those holes, and I'll see you guys back at the scroll saw. Okay, we're over here at the scroll saw now. I drilled 2 entry holes, one on the inside where the clover is going to be cut out, and another one on the edge where the entire key is going to be cut out. Now, this is a fairly soft wood, so your blade doesn't have to be that sharp, or it doesn't have to be that big. So I'm using a number 3 reverse tooth blade. That will help to keep the fuzzies down a little bit, and it should cut through pretty smoothly on this wood. I put my blade through, and we'll just tighten it down securely. Alright, I think we're all set to go. Let's cut out this middle piece. Remember, just take your time if you're new at this and work your way through it. Okay, we've cut our way through here, and we'll just take this off now and pop it out, and we got our little, maybe a Casper the Ghost if you want, or something else, I don't know. But in any event, it's cut out nicely and worked exactly as I wanted it to. Now the next piece we're going to cut is the key itself. You can see this is really only 2 cuts in this whole project, so fairly easy to do. Tighten this down again, and we'll go on through our cutting. Okay, finished the cut on that. I don't know if you noticed or not, but as I was going along, I did some sort of ragged cutting along the edges here too. I want this thing to be rather rustic and evil looking when we get it done, so I want to make it as edgy as possible. So I did those sort of edits as I went along. And you shouldn't feel that you can't edit your patterns as you're cutting. It's a creative process, and you want to make the thing look the way you like it to look at the moment. So if you have to make changes, well, you make changes. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's take this out of here. And we'll take it over to the bench and take a look at it. Okay, we're back over here at the bench. Let's just take the tape off of this. It should come off fairly easy. It certainly does on this pine. There we go. And it looks pretty nice. Now, considering the kind of key that it is, we don't really want it to look nice. We want it to look rather shaggy looking. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this over to the router, my table router, and I'm going to go all around the edges on this with my 1/4-inch router bit, and I want to round off everything as best I can. Not too much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take it over to the bench sander, and we'll do a little creative work on it with that too. But let's go over to the router first and get that done. Okay, we're over at the table router now, and what we're going to do is we're going to go around the edges to smooth them out a little bit. First of all, I want to test it with this blank here, just to make sure that it's the depth I want. Go along the edge, and it looks pretty good. It's nicely rounded. I think we can go with our key now. I'm going to do the inside first. Okay, we're done routing this now. It's a lot smoother on the edges here. It's a little rough at some points where the blade got caught on the wood. When you do this, if you're doing it on your router, or router table I should say, you want to do it very gently, not too deep a cut, very gently, especially around the pointed parts here, because they could snap off very easily. I've had even thick areas in here snap off. So you want to take it very, very carefully and go around, and most of the time you'll have pretty good luck with it. Okay, I'm going to take this over to the bench sander now, and I'm going to do a little bit of roughing up on the edges here. I want this to look like a key that has actually been abused over the years, over the centuries possibly. Over at the bench sander, we're going to try and rough this up a little bit. Okay, we've got our key done, and I don't know if you can see it or not. Might be a little blurry. There we go. You can see it looks a little roughed up, which is what we want, and we're going to smooth this out with the mop sander a little bit now too. Okay, this is going to be the last stage of smoothing out here. We're going to use our mop sander to do this. There we go. Alright, it looks a lot smoother now. And looks a lot better. Okay, we got our key all cut out, and I'm outside now with some Rust-Oleum paint. Got the Satin Canyon Black. I'm going to use that on it. Okay, we'll let that dry and then we'll do the other side. Maybe give it a second coat and we'll finish it up. Okay, we finished the key. It's all done. I just sort of put it on the top of this picture, but you can hang it. Makes a nice, interesting hanging for your wall. That's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this video, click on the like button down below and click the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. And if you'd like the pattern for this key, along with a total of 6 keys on one of my Etsy packs, just click the link down below. That'll take you there and you can get them very easily. Thank you for watching.